I was scammed out of $13,000 this weekend. I was out shopping, doing the dilly dallying at Home Goods and Michael's and Target and TJ Maxx and just trying to get stuff for Christmas and the holidays. And I get a text message from my bank saying, "Hey, did you just have this transaction in Home Goods?" I'm like, "Yeah, that was me. This was the amount. Yep, was me." Right after that, I got a phone call and they were like, "Hey, you sent a text message in regards to this Home Goods transaction. We just want to confirm, yes, this is you." No, it was not. I'm letting them know, yeah, I responded to the text message. Yes, it was me. They said, "Okay, thank you so much for confirming." They said, "Well, what about this transaction for $3,000? I'm like, "What do you mean $3,000? No, baby, I'm spending like $300, not $3,000. No, that's not me." He said, "Okay, the $3,000 not you. What about the $2,000? There's also one for $6,000. I'm like, "What do you mean? I'm not attempting these transactions. All I'm doing are these little transactions that are at Michael's. None of them over exceed $300. So no, that's not me doing these other transactions." They're like, "Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do what we need to do in regards to your account." And I said, "Okay." 2 hours later, I get another phone call from my bank, which was actually my bank. And they're saying, "Okay, these transactions for 2,000, 3,000, not even mentioning the smaller transactions that I had just did." My actual bank said, "We never called you today. We are calling you about these $1,000 transactions. We never would have called you for these other transactions. This is usual for you." They said, "Man, we never called you today." And they're like, "Okay, what did they say to you?" I said, "They're saying everything that people usually say. Can you confirm your name, your date of birth, all of the information." They knew where I was shopping. And they said, "This was an AI generated voice." They said, "This is an AI generated voice scam. And this is how they are able to get people because they sound legitimate. They sound like they are at work. They sound like they're able to assist you. But this is not what's going on." They said, "Your entire account is drained. $13,000. This didn't happen to me this weekend, but AI voice scams are so scary and so real because you think that you're talking to a real human. You think that you're talking to a real person. Always hang up and call your bank directly. Even if that is your bank calling you and you are unsure, hang up and you call them back. They'll be able to assist you.
Wow, that is scary. I mean, AI, with anything, especially technology, right? It can be for good or it can be used for bad. In this situation, that is a scary situation to be in. Number one, if that was me, 100% hang up. I'm not discussing, if my bank is calling me, that's not how I have my notifications set up with my bank. I have mobile banking, so it would give me an alert. I would have multi-factor alerts or notifications when instances such as a scam or not scam, but unauthorized transactions or purchases would occur on my account. I would, if I was ever in that situation, I would number one, I would check my transaction history right away. Even if I was on the phone with whoever's claiming to be my bank, I would check my transactions right away, verify for myself that in fact whatever they're telling me or allegedly claiming that I've purchased is recorded in my transactions. Number two, hang up. I agree with her 100%. Doesn't cost me to hang up. I would rather either call my bank via my mobile app contact us number, the back of my debit card contact number. If it's my credit card, the back of my credit card. I would, if I have a branch nearby, try to go there. And, I guess that's one good thing about having a brick and mortar type of bank to go to. Situations like this where you're getting frauded or scammed thousands of dollars, the convenience of talking to somebody over the phone is great, but sensitive matters like this, I want to talk to somebody that I know it works at the bank, that when I open the door, it has their logo, it has their bank on that building. I know I'm talking to an actual representative of that bank. So that's where I can see the value and usefulness of having a brick and mortar bank opposed to these internet banks. Don't get me wrong, they're probably legitimate and they probably do the same thing, but sensitive matters like this, I want to see somebody in front of me, talking to me, looking at my transactions, confirming with me, no, in fact, on their banking system, these transactions did not occur. Or, yes, these transactions did occur. Confirm with me if I made those transactions. I, depending on the situation, likely deny if it wasn't me. And I would move on from there. But man, that is tough. All right, let's go to the comments. Glad I don't have 13,000 for them to scam me. Oh man, you'll get there. Banks never call you at all. Hello. This happened to my daughter. I hope you got your money back. My bank doesn't call, they cut off my card. Whoa, I wonder where you bank at. This happened to my husband. My uncle lost 50 grand last week. Told the local police and FBI they're doing nothing. So sad. Lost 1,300 last week. I lost 12,000. I got scammed like this before for $500. Happened to my daughter. They were calling from a Discover and had all her info. And they were applying for $15,000 loans. She called Discover and caught it, but had to cancel all her stuff and get new accounts. That is so annoying. It's just like, losing your wallet or purse or all your cards and information and having to go through that whole process. It's just so tedious, time consuming, especially if you have auto debits coming out of that specific card or account. That has to be reapplied or reassigned to new accounts. It's just a big hassle. All right, let me read one more. I'm so sorry this happened to you. I got scammed several years ago, and it really does seem real at the time when you're talking to the scammers. Yeah, this is a whole different world that we're dealing with now, and with that, we just have to be diligent about our actions and who we communicate with, and it's just one of those things in this new era that we're in. All right, let's look at another one.
I wasn't going to make a video because I feel so stupid about this, but I'm going to make a video in case other people have done this to let them know that they're not alone. So I fell for a scam on Instagram yesterday and I lost $1,600. Just thinking about it makes me so cringe. And I can't believe how stupid I was. I literally, it was just like a perfect storm. But I'm all about manifestation and everything happens for a reason. So I'm just like, this was meant to happen. I don't know why, but it was meant to happen.
At least she still has a positive outlook on it. I mean, that's a tough situation.
The worst part about it, I was telling Tom, my ex-husband, well, we're still technically together, but separated. I was like, wow, you want to hear something so cool? And he was like, sure, Kira, what? And I was like, I've been doing all these meditations, just manifesting because I'm taking this like spiritual mentorship. And I was like manifesting different ways to bring money into my life. And I'm like, you wouldn't believe it. This person reached out to me on Instagram and wanted to use me as a muse for a project they're doing for a client. And they're offering me $300. And I'm like, I literally just like meditated and changed my vibrational state. And shit's just coming to me. Like this manifestation stuff, it works. And he was like, wow, okay, cool, Kira. And then this person fucked me over so bad. And I cannot believe I fell for it. Oh, they like were talking to me since March 6th. And it seemed like she seemed to be a girl, I thought. And it was just like, we built this like friendship. And yes,
That's what they do. They gain your confidence. It's no longer the fly by night or kind of hit and run, kind of quick schemes type of transaction. It's more relationship, and they're kind of building or grooming, victims into the situation. And when it happens to you, it is embarrassing. It's tough. Most people, they keep it to themselves. They don't want anybody to know, not even family, not even friends. So it takes a lot of courage to kind of put this out there in the world, but also hopefully it gives other folks a perspective of sometimes what may seem too good to be true is in fact too good to be true.
How do you build a friendship over like 10 days? You don't. But I always try to see the good in people. So they sent me this check and the money. And I was like, whoa, you sent me way too much money. Like, this isn't right. She was like, oh yeah, you can just e-transfer it back. Because the check deposited through my TD mobile app and the money showed up in my account, I was like, oh, it's in there. Like, wow, this isn't a scam. And I know banks can take like 2 to 5 days to like hold the money with a check. But since it like appeared in my account right away, I was like, oh wow, it cleared really fast. That was my thought process. And I've learned that that's not always the case.
It depends on your history with the bank. For instance, if you have a brand new account with a bank and you deposit thousands in form of a check, likely that bank will need some time to verify with the maker. So the maker being the bank of that person writing you the check, to ensure that the funds are there. The funds are going to be pulled out of that account into your account. Now, if you've been banking for, a bank for a long time, let's say 5 years, 10 years, and you've established a relationship, they know your transactions, you have sufficient balance. For instance, if I'm depositing a $5,000 check, my balance with the bank is $10,000. Sometimes they'll just make it available either same day or following day, because they know if the check that I'm depositing, if they clear it or pull it from the other bank that it's written off of, the maker, if they don't have it, they could just take the money from my available balance at my bank, right? But sometimes these situations, you just, brand new person, you don't know. I would not have. Boy, it's different because I've never been in that type of situation, so it's hard to say, hard to judge, but
So I e-transferred her the money and then the check bounced. I feel so stupid and embarrassed, and I'm so lucky to have Tom and other people in my life who literally have made me feel so much better about this. But yeah, if you fall
don't feel that. I mean, like I said, the fact that you're putting this out there for hopefully others not to fall victim to the same situation is, you're paying it forward. So with your whole manifesting and everything else, you are helping others kind of avoid these traps and these type of scams.
for it, no, you're not alone. My whole thought process was I was literally like, I gotta get this person's money back to her so she doesn't think I'm a bad person and that I'm trustworthy. And the bitch fucked me. If it was a girl, probably wasn't.
See, oftentimes, good people fall for these things because they have good character, they're a good person, they want to do right, even to a stranger that they've known for 10 days. Unfortunately, it's these type of characteristics that these predators, these scammers tend to go for. They don't know the situation until they get a quote unquote bite. And then, like in this situation, 10 days. 10 days it took them. But look what happened, right? Don't blame yourself. Thank you for doing this and putting it out there so others hopefully won't fall victim to that trap. All right, let's go to the comments. I lost $10,000. I lost $1,200. So you're not alone. Has anybody gotten scammed through Cash App Bitcoin? You're the best, sir. Thank you. I'm happy as you helped me recover my money. This is the only hacker I know. That's the best. He can always say the truth and recovering your money perfectly. Okay. A customer at my bank fell for it 3 times. Now owes $13,000. Wow. I'm assuming you work at a bank. At my bank, fell for it 3 times. I got scammed on Facebook and lost $4,000. Sheesh. That's crazy. You gave them your information. They did the same thing to my daughter and said they wanted her photo to paint for $300 and sent $1,700. So she did it. Oh man, I feel you. Something similar just happened. Out $960, and it happened when I had COVID. I blame COVID brain. I lost 30,000. Oh, jeez. The same thing happened to my daughter. She was going to oversend her money from the client and asked to send back the difference, except she said no. Well, there you go. You scammed the scammer. All right, let's go to the next one.
I just got scammed $5,000 and I want to talk about it. First of all, I know people are going to be like, you're so freaking dumb. Okay, I know, I'm the one that lost $5,000. I'm well aware now. I'm making this video for awareness, but also for help. If someone has unfortunately gone through this before or knows of someone and they know what to do and they somehow got their money back, or even if you didn't, like, I just want to hear where to move on from here. To the police, and I've gone to the bank and there isn't much answers, and I know that it's really case by case, but I'm just doing what I can.
It's tough for the banks. Well, it's not tough, but here's the case that you're making. I got scammed, but I was willingly participating in the transaction that ultimately led to a scam, right? So one of the questions typically that the bank will ask is, what was your involvement? Did you give them your information? Did you give them so-and-so access? Whatever it may be. And oftentimes in these scam situations, the answer is yes. So they have a tough time justifying, okay, we're going to give you your money back, but you ultimately were kind of like an accomplice to the situation. So depending on your relationship with your bank, it really depends. And depends on how much, right, is being scammed. Because if it was, let's say, I don't know, like a $20, that much of an issue. I'm not saying all $20 scam fraud cases are automatically put back in your account. Not the case. But compared to 20,000, right? Whereas that type of transaction is going to involve a lot more than getting access to your card number or account number. It's going to involve some participation on your part. Typically, my experience dealing with these type of things, working at the bank or used to working at the bank. So it's tough.
Right now, here I am. Scammer basically called me yesterday and was like, do you know who I am? First of all, I know it's really obvious from that. He sounded like my boss, so I didn't even question it. This morning, he called me and he was like, oh, I changed my number. Do you know how to set up a new pay now with your new number? At the call, you see how he's setting up, like he changed his number and then he doesn't know how to set up a new bank account. Before you go like, why the hell are you just doing whatever this person says? He's my boss. I work as a personal assistant and he does finance. To me, it made sense that as a personal assistant of a finance guy, he would need me to transfer things here and there. After 4,000 of transfer, he asked for more, but I had a daily limit of like 1,000 and I had 977 left. So I transferred my last 977. To me, it's like...
Your boss is asking you to transfer money from your account to his account. Did I get that right? And you're working for him, but you're paying him? I would question it right then and there. Is this a normal pattern based on your professional working relationship as the assistant? How often is he asking you in the past to transfer money out of your account to his account? If that's not a normal pattern within your work parameters, red flags. You should automatically be questioning the situation. And this is an isolated incident, it's a one-time instance, but it's a large sum of money for you. I would not have this transaction over the phone. I would have it in person with your boss. That's just my 2 cents.
Maybe he's refunding someone, like it's all finance things. I don't know anything about finance. I only got suspicious when he asked for 10,000. And you know what is so freaking dumb of me? I literally asked him, are you a scammer? And he was like, no. And I was like, okay. After I found out, I continued talking to him because I didn't want him to like run and transfer the money elsewhere. Although I feel like he would have done that already. I went to the police like 20 minutes after I transferred the funds because that's when I realized I got scammed. But they told me after the calls and the talks is like, I submit a police report, confirm that I was scammed, something like that. They would then send something to the scam bank account, some notification. The bank cannot take the money out of the scammer's bank unless the scammer approves. Which in my head, why would the scammer? I don't know if like this notification thing will threaten to police investigate or something. But in my head, it was that easy. Like if the bank can just tell all the scammers like, you give back the money or we call police, then no one will be scammed already, right? I'm also pretty sure that I may not get my money back. This is also awareness, okay? I would say I was really complacent. I thought I'm really tech savvy as a Gen Z. You know when my grandma like pulls up something and I'm like, that's obviously a scam. I would never fall for a scam. I fell for a scam. So that's one thing. Don't be too complacent just because you're young and you think you're well versed with technology. It's so easy when you're like caught in the moment and they really set it up. You just don't think.
Yeah, they get you flustered and you're thinking, it's just you're probably thinking, I can't believe this is happening. But at the same time, it's my boss or whatever her scenario is, your scenario. It's happening and occurring. What I'm noticing a lot more, just as a society, we got to be more diligent. Don't be afraid to ask more questions. Trust, but verify. That's what I always say. All right, let's go through one more and then we'll close out this episode.
So tell me why my daughter just got scammed out of $1,600. I'm not mad at her at all because this was an honest mistake. So I'm checking my accounts, and my daughter, she has a high school checking account, high school savings account, and I'm on both of these accounts. So whenever I'm in my banking app,
She's in high school? She got $1,600? Dang. Good for her. That's a lot for me. I didn't have that much money when I was in high school. I barely had $50 in high school.
I can see my account along with her account. I go to just look at her account or whatever, making sure she ain't balling out. As soon as I open the account, I see this $200 transaction for Target. It was $199.99 to be exact. So then I check the next transaction. The next transaction says $199.99 Target. Girl, she had 8 $199.99 transactions hit her account. So I wait till when she wakes up and I'm like, hey Cam, like, girl, you know you missing $1,600. And she's like, what? Like, she's obviously shocked. So I'm like, can you think of a time when your card could have been compromised? Literally a week and a half ago, she got this text message from ePass. ePass in Florida is our toll company. And so she got a text message from ePass saying, hey, you need to pay this $7 toll violation. And my daughter did express to me that she had to run a toll like maybe earlier last month because we hadn't got her ePass set up. So she thought that this was from that toll that she ran. So her just trying to be a responsible young adult, she wanted to just go ahead and just take care of it. So she clicked the link because the text message sent her a link to take care of the toll violation. And so she clicked the link, put in her card information, she pressed pay, and when it came time for her to get a confirmation, like, it just was like this weird page, and her card never got charged. So she just thought it was weird, but she just never thought nothing of it. So here we are a week and a half later. Her account is $1,600 short. I called Chase immediately and I pretended like I was my daughter. However this person was getting her money, they was getting it via like Apple Pay. And I know banks are really, really funny about Apple Pay. Like, Apple Pay is supposed to be this secure thing. And I was explaining to the lady, like, listen,
I thought you said it was a Target transaction that showed up several times, but they were using via Apple Pay to source the funds? Wow.
ma'am, like, I know what you see, but I am telling you that this is not me. Like, obviously, like, why would I make 8 transactions for $199?
Got it. So they were using an Apple Pay account as if they were your daughter or your daughter's account to make those Target purchases.
99. Not only that, these transactions have different states, like one in Pennsylvania, Minnesota, Tennessee. Like, it was like 4 different states that these transactions was being done in. And I'm like, obviously I can't be in 4 different states at one time. So it was just a little bit of back and forth there that was just a little bit frustrating, but she was doing her job, and I don't doubt that we won't get our money back. I know we are going to get our money back. But anyways, I'm just hopping on here to tell you guys, like I tell my daughter and my kids, be careful of links. Like, don't click links, especially links that says like, oh, we're trying to deliver a package to you and we can't deliver it to you because we need your address. I will keep you guys updated on these $1,600. They did say it'll take like maybe like 10 up to 10 business days for her to get it back, and when she gets it back, it's only going to be temporary because they will be doing an investigation. But I know it won't be temporary. They just gonna give us back our money. So anyways, y'all, I will talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah, they still have to good conduct. So they have a process, right? They have steps that they have to go through in order to validate or confirm fraud type of transactions and to ultimately get your money back, but also get their money back too, right? So, man, that's good for you. For hopefully your daughter learns a very valuable lesson here, but I don't blame her. I mean, anybody could have fallen victim to these type of things. Given the scenario, it was a toll. She did go through it, and she thought it was that. And unfortunately, it wasn't the case. Once the link was clicked, boom, they got access. So it's just, man, different times now. All right, let's go to the comments. I swear banks never block the actual suspicious transaction. I called the toll roads and they immediately said it was a scam. Wow. They usually block duplicate transactions. That's what I thought. I ignore my regular bills so best believe that the text was ignored as well. So we all got this text. They sent me a link too, but I don't trust anything through text messages. That's a good rule to go by given today's circumstances. They sent me one and I don't even drive. I got text too. When it said I only owe $3, I knew it was a scam because I know I got about $500 in toll fees. This scam was on my local news recently. Oh, wow. Thanks for sharing. My friend got scammed too. $500. Oh, I got this text several times and I don't even drive. Oh my gee. Yes, I got the same message and I ignored it. Man. All right, let's read one more. I'm in Washington and I keep getting these texts for a toll on Seattle, which is almost 5 hours away. I haven't been to Seattle in about 10 years. Whew. Well, it is, like I said, it's a different world. It's going around, and we just have to be more diligent, not only when we're out and about in the world, but just even in our own transactions, within our own circle. So I like what she did with her daughter and just really supported her and didn't blame her. So I think that was awesome parenting. 100%. She advocated and did everything she could to reconcile and try to remediate the situation with the bank, letting them know that the transactions were in fact not hers. And based on the steps she outlined that the bank did, it sounds like it was in line of their due process that they have to do. So good for her. Good job, mama. Well, with that, hopefully you found this video valuable. If you did, consider subscribing. Thank you for your attention. We'll see you at the next video.